Once again, I welcome you all to this channel, Smart Pilipina, and also to our Facebook page, and you can also check us out in our YouTube page. And I'm again your host, Lovely Sanchez. Today, pag-uusapan naman natin ngayon ang personal finance. Yes, personal finance. So, ang dami nating naririnig, no, kung ano yung personal finance. Ano nga ba yung personal finance? From the word itself, personal finance. So, according kay Google, personal finance daw is about meeting your financial goals and managing personal money, like your savings, like your investment, and also insurance, budgets, and even your retirement fund. So, that's personal finance. So, paano mo minamanage yung pera mo, yung budget mo, even your insurance and investment. We will gonna discuss kung ano ba yung mga principles, mga prinsipyo ng personal finance. Alright, so let's start it with principle number 1. Principle number 1 is the principle of gratitude. So, what is gratitude? Sabi nga nila, no, you need to have an attitude of gratitude. Simple lang, magpasalamat tayo. Give thanks sa mga bagay na meron tayo. We have to give thanks with things that we already have, as well as things na kahit wala pa tayo, pero alam natin na darating din sa atin yung mga bagay na yun. The house that you want, the car that you want, the life that you want, even the person, no, that you want for your love of your life, no. So we have to give thanks with kung ano meron tayo ngayon. Kasi if we give thanks to God, ibibigay
niya sa'yo yun in the right time. Ibibigay niya yung tamang tao sa'yo in the right time. Ibibigay niya yung bahay mo in the right time. So, everything
God's perfect timing. So, hindi po ako nagpipreach, no? Pero, naniniwala po ako na kapag nagpasalamat tayo sa mga bagay, kahit small things lang na meron tayo, darating at darating din yung mga bagay na gusto natin makuha. So, we have to give thanks sa work natin, sa business natin, sa partner natin, sa kinakain natin, sa even pagising natin sa umaga, that we are still alive, no, buhay pa rin tayo, and we are still breathing, no. We have to give thanks with that small things na binibigay sa atin every day, every single day. Give thanks to God, give thanks to yourself, because you deserve all the blessings and all the beautiful things in the world. So have that attitude of gratitude. That's the first principle of personal finance. So the second principle of personal finance is the principle of saving. So alam naman natin kung ano yung saving, right? At mag-ipon, in short, kailangan nating mag-ipon. Although alam natin marami pa rin ang hindi nakakapag-ipon. Mahirap po talaga siya, especially hindi mo siya pinapractice, no. Saving is a habit. So kailangan maging daily routine mo siya. Even the smallest amount na kaya mong i-save, you save it. Why? Because it's not actually the money that you would like to accumulate lang, but it's about the habit that you would like to develop para sa sarili mo. At ano yung habit na yun? The habit of saving and the discipline. Yung disiplina natin sa sarili, it's very important. So, sabi nga nila, may nabasa ko sa book, no, na para ma-develop mo daw yung habit na to, you need to have 21 days. Which is, I believe naman na tama, 21 days. But, for me, it's not enough lang yung 21 days. Yung 21 days is para ma-develop mo siya, but you have to do it consistently. So, if you want to develop a certain habit in your life, you have to be consistent in doing it. Like saving. Consistent, if you can do it every day, then do it every day. Or kung hindi kayang every day, twice a month, every cut-off, you save a portion of your income, or you save a portion of your, salary, for you to develop that habit. Okay? So, yung next principle natin for personal finance is very important, no? Ano yung principle na to? This is the principle of prioritizing. So, ano yung principle of prioritizing? Dapat daw, you know how to prioritize things. So, dapat alam mo kung ano yung uunahin mo. It's part of managing your money, knowing how to manage your income. So, I was able to read this book from one of my favorite author, Stephen Covey. Siya din yung nagsulat ng book ng 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Paano ba nagiging effective yung isang tao? Doon din kasama sa personal finance is you know how to prioritize. Kasi kapag sinabay-sabay mo yan lahat, wala kang matatapos talaga. So, dapat alam mo anong uunahin mo. So, may sinabi siya na we have 4 quadrants daw ng gagawin natin for the day. So, first quadrant is what we call the urgent and important. So, ano yung urgent at importante? Yun yung first quadrant. Then, the second quadrant is that not urgent but important. Hindi urgent pero importante pa din. And then the third quadrant is urgent but not important. So, urgent pero hindi important. And the last quadrant or the fourth quadrant is not urgent and not important. So, kailangan i-identify mo, yung gagawin mo ba ngayon, is it urgent and is it important? Or is it not important but urgent? Or is it not urgent and also not important? Or is it not urgent but important? So, so baka kasi ginagawa natin ngayon is nandun tayo sa quadrant na not urgent and not important. So, nagdidwell tayo dun sa hindi naman urgent na akala natin is importante pero hindi naman pala siya yung importante. So, you need to identify ano yung urgent at ano yung important. What's urgent and what's important. So, that's the 4 quadrant. So, you identify saan na belong yung mga gagawin mo for the certain period of time. Our next principle is the principle of investing. So, di ba, nag-save tayo. We have the attitude of gratitude. We have prioritizing. Alam na natin kung paano mag-prioritize. Tapos, may savings na rin tayo. Kaya, importante na alam natin tong mga to. Para pagdating sa principle of investing, since meron tayong savings, and marunong tayong magpasalamat kung anong meron tayo. At marunong din tayong mag-prioritize ng mga bagay-bagay kung ano yung mga uunahin natin. So, we can go now with the principle of investing. Yun. So, kailangan nating mag-invest.
Kung nag-i-invest na tayo sa mga maling tao, diba? Ayun nga, so seryoso, kung nag-i-invest tayo sa mga bagay na wala naman tang ROI or return of
investment, diba? Mag-invest naman tayo dun sa meron tayong ROI. So, mag-invest tayo dun sa, invest tayo sa insurance. Hindi ko sa pinopromote ko yung insurance, no? Pero, kailangan talaga nating magkaroon ng insurance. Bakit? Kasi para sa sarili natin yun eh. Para sa pamilya natin yun eh. Mag-invest tayo sa knowledge, sa skills. Mag-invest tayo sa personal development. Una nating gagawin is invest in ourselves first. So, knowledge, sa skills, sa insurance, sa investment na pwedeng mag-grow over time, na pagdating ng time is our future self. Well, thank you for. Para pagdating ng time, papasalamatan natin yung mga sarili natin kasi
nag-invest tayo sa mga tamang tao, nag-invest tayo sa tamang investment tool, nag-invest tayo para sa sarili natin, nag-invest tayo sa kaalaman natin, at kagaya ng ginagawa rin
yung kayo, nag-invest kayo ng inyong mga time para panoorin ang video na to. So, invest na manood tayo ng hindi naman nakakapagbigay sa atin ng kaalaman tungkol sa buhay, unti-unti nating i-divert ang ating attention kung saan tayo makakaroon ng ROI. Dahil nag-invest na tayo, dahil tapos na tayo sa principle of investing, punta naman tayo ngayon sa principle of avoiding unnecessary debt.
Ano yun? Avoiding unnecessary debt. Ibig sabihin, iwasan natin mangutang. In short.
Kung hindi naman natin kailangang mangutang, wag na tayong mangutang. Kung mangungutang tayo para sa personal needs natin at alam naman natin na sobrang taas ng interest, wag na nating ituloy. So yun, i-avoid natin yung pangungutang. Kasi mababaon tayo sa utang, iniisip
natin, okay lang, mababayaran naman natin to. 6% interest, 8% interest lang naman to, or 5% interest lang naman to. Yung iba, maliit lang naman yung uutang mo, kaya okay lang, no? So, wag na nating pasukin para hindi tayo mas lalong mabaon. Kasi iniisip natin, uutang tayo para sa personal needs natin, wala siyang return. So,
anong mangyayari? Dalawa na binabayaran mo. Binabayaran mo yung utang mo, binabayaran mo yung interest, wala pang bumalik sa'yo. Avoid na natin yung unnecessary debt. Kung hindi naman kailangan, hindi naman urgent, hindi naman importante, at alam naman natin na walang babalik sa atin, wag na nating pasukin. So, avoid unnecessary debt. Dahil na-avoid na natin yung unnecessary debt, punta naman tayo sa principle of giving. Give back. You already done the principle of gratitude. You already done the principle of prioritizing, principle of saving, principle of avoiding unnecessary debt, and the principle of investing. Now, let's go to principle of giving. Ang principle of giving daw is, once you give, it will make you a better person. Kasi nagbibigay ka eh. You practice the law of giving. The more you give, the more you receive. So, pag marami ka palang binibigay, marami din bumabalik sa'yo. So, we have to practice the law of giving. Wala namang problema sa ating mga Pilipino to eh. Kasi, sadyang we are naturally generous sa pamilya natin. Sa sarili natin, hindi masyado, no? Minsan, mas generous tayo sa family natin, tsaka sa ibang tao. Minsan nakakalimutan na natin yung sarili natin. So, practice din natin na love ourselves first. Kasi kapag marami ka nun sa sarili mo, you have a lot to give. Because you cannot give something that you don't have. Hindi kailangang financial palagi. Hindi kailangang pera. Simply being with that person na you care, you're already applying the principle of giving. Simply accommodating the text, the message, if this person is having a depression, anxiety, or being there, checking them out, like, how are you? Kumusta ka na? How's everything? Naka-MPCQ na? Okay ka pa ba dyan? May kinakain ka pa ba dyan? Not necessarily naman na kailangan pera. Sometimes, it's beyond money. It's beyond that material things. Sometimes, if we care enough to people we love, we show our love, we show our care sa mga taong mahalaga sa atin. Even naman with other person that we don't know. If we show that we care for them, you're already applying the principle of giving. So, wag mong iisipin na pera lang yung pwede mong ibigay. Marami kang pwedeng ibigay. Kahit wala ka naman ng finances for now, you can still give. You can give your time. You can give your text to them and show them that you care kahit malayo kasi kailangan social distancing. Or even forgiving yung mga taong nakasakit sa atin. It's already applying the principle of giving. Because you're giving it to yourself. Hindi dahil sa tao na yun. Hindi dahil na kailangan mong patawarin yung tao na yun. Kundi pinapatawad mo yung tao na yun so you can move on para sa sarili mo. Ayun.
Kadrama natin dito sa principle of giving na to, no? Yun po yun, so yun, no? Those are the 9 principles. Bilangin na natin.
Our next principle is the principle of working. Kasi we already have the principle of gratitude. Nagpasalamat na tayo kay Lord sa lahat ng meron tayo, diba? Now, this time, we need to work. Kahit naman sa Bible, we need to work hard. Even si Lord, nagtrabaho siya from day 1 to day 6. Nag-rest lang siya ng day 7. Right? The principle of working applies to everyone. So you have to work. Not just for yourself, but you have to work for your family, when you work, you will have your own money. And when you have your own money, you become financially independent. When you have your own money, you can choose the life that you want.
When you work, you will have your own money, which eventually leads to financial independence.
And when you are financially independent, you will have more choices in life. And also, if you work, it teaches you to be accountable and responsible with your own personal finances. You will have the financial freedom, and also you can live the life that you want. That is the principle of working. Our next principle is the principle of tracking and budgeting. You need to know where your money goes, because if you know where your money goes, then you know that every cent na pinagtatrabahuan mo is may purpose siya. Because the principle of tracking and budgeting, this one, well, you will know, you need to know where your every centavo goes. You need to know where your money goes, because it's your right, you work hard for it.
You need to know where you invested, how's the return, when is the return, if you are going to have a return ba, and
Also, where you are spending it. Sometimes, pag hindi natin siya tinatrack, dumadaan na lang yung pera, kaya nakikita natin, no, asymptomatic yung sahod natin. Hindi natin siya nararamdaman. Hindi natin nararamdaman yung mga sweldo natin. Bakit? Kasi hindi natin alam kung saan siya napupunta. That's the reason why you need to track every centavo na pumapasok sa account mo. That's the principle of tracking and budgeting. It's part of personal finance. You know, you have the attitude of gratitude. You have the principle of working. You know also where your money goes, which is the tracking and budgeting. Alright, so yun yung 9 principles of personal finance. One is principle of gratitude. You give thanks. And then you have the principle of working. You have to work for it. And you also have this principle of tracking and budgeting. You need to track where your money goes. You need to know where every centavo you spend and you invest if you have a return. And the fourth one is the principle of saving. Dahil may gratitude ka na, dahil meron ka ng principle of tracking and budgeting, you also need to know how to save. That's the principle of saving. Now, if you have the principle of saving, you also need to have the principle of prioritizing. So, you need to prioritize kung ano ba yung mga kailangan mong unahin. Now, since you already have the principle of prioritizing, you will have the principle of what we call principle of investing. You
also need to invest. You need to plant seeds. You need to invest time. You need to invest money sometimes. It depends on where you invest and who you invest.
It depends on where you invest your money and where you invest your time. So, meron na din tayong principle of investing, principle of saving. You also need to have the principle of giving, and also the principle of preparation. Alright, thank you so much. Those are the 9 principles of personal finance, and I would suggest to watch my other videos. If you like these 9 principles, just click subscribe, or also you can follow me on my Facebook page, Smart Pilipina. And I'll see you again every Saturday. We're going to have our Savesta night, means we save, invest, and how you can earn online. That's why it's Savesta night. And more surprises to come sa mga manonood ng aming Savesta night. We have a lot of speakers that we prepare for you guys, so you can learn, and it's totally free. You don't need to invest anything. I just need you to invest your time in watching our Facebook Live, and also by sharing our page, by sharing this video, you can touch a soul. You can change lives by even, simple act of sharing, because sharing is caring. So if you care for that person and you know that he needs this principle, so you can so he can improve how you manage your expenses, how you manage your income, how you manage your savings, then share this video and also like our page. Thank you so much.